Further in depth here tonight, more than 20 states, along with Washington, D.C., have passed those red flag laws. Florida is one of them. It happened right after the Parkland shooting about 5 years ago in 2018. And as Wendy just mentioned, it is meant to deal with people who are a danger to themselves or others. After hearing all the evidence in court, a judge actually decides if the person will lose their right to have a gun. And last year, ABC Action News reporter Michael Paluska spoke with a Hillsborough County judge who oversees these cases.
But I think that people could learn from our state and how it's being done and feel comfortable that there's a balance between not just snatching guns from everybody, because I've heard that. It's not a gun grab. Nobody wants that in this division. That's not what our law is. You know, we just want to make sure that we have a layer of protection there to protect people from themselves and hurting themselves and also hurting the community.
A layer of protection. Michael joining us right now. And Michael, you actually sat in on one of these hearings for several days.
Yeah, Judge Denise Pomponio's court, and it was really eye-opening because what we heard there were chilling accounts of the worst day of someone's life. You know, they were scared, they had access to weapons, they may have been on alcohol or drugs, and so there was one case where someone called 911 that we heard, and he said he was going to have a mass shooting at a workplace. A kid wanted a suicide by cop. The officer was able to save his life. So all of these examples of someone that needed the help and they couldn't get it.
Yeah, and now we're hearing, of course, of yet another mass shooting, this one in Maine, and it had an older shooter, if you will, 40 years old. But I know that you've covered others, especially Parkland, where we saw a teenager who was the shooter at that time. So what have you learned from that situation, especially about a unique program that now you've looked into that's actually helping keep guns away from teens, right?
Yeah, and that's the key part, are these programs like the risk protection order, the red flag laws. So with the risk protection order, a law enforcement officer has to file it. It's not neighbor versus neighbor. Then it goes through the due process. The judge says we're going to take your guns away, et cetera, et cetera. Here in Tampa, they're starting out young, the PAL Boxing League with the City of Tampa Police Department, and there are kids that are using guns at an early age. Now, what happened in Maine was a horrific event, of course, not the same, but these kids are getting mentors at a young age. We had a 13-year-old shoot a teen last September. 3 teens were in a drive-by in Lakeland, and so the PAL program really gives them mentors so if they have access to a gun, the last thing that they're going to think about doing is shooting someone.
That's really good. That's really good. Michael, thank you for coming in. All right, let's turn to weather now and take a live look outside. Or are we, no. Oh, okay, Michael, I think we're going to have your in-depth look at this new program. Take a look.
It is ironic that full contact sparring
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10
can put these kids in a place where they feel calm and engaged, but boxing does that.
It's letting out all their frustrations. Sometimes it's angriness.
They kind of get lost in it, and that's perfect, right? Because there's a lot of stressors that happen out when they're not here.
We get a lot of single parents, we get a lot of single moms. We get a lot of kids that have domestic and family issues at home, and they just kind of come here to seek some normalcy in their life.
Meanwhile, in Tampa, police say a 13-year-old stole a gun from an unlocked vehicle and used it to shoot another teenager.
Because this shooting from last month should never be normal. A 13-year-old arrested for shooting another teen. Crimes that make this program even more important.
You always remember the kids you can't reach. That always is imprinted in the back of our minds. How can we prevent this here? How can we prevent this in the city of Tampa?
Prevention starts with mentors like Julius Cannon and Adam Harris, Tampa police officers now off the streets.
Watch your feet. That back foot needs to rotate.
Their new beat is dedicated 100% to this program.
Through all the cases and putting people in jail and whatnot, being out here I found to be is the most wholesome for me. I do enjoy working with kids. I do enjoy mentoring kids. And I would like to feel like I helped them. We're going to get a good run in today. Everybody's going to behave well. Some of them box, some of them just want to hang out with us. And we don't turn kids away. We welcome everyone here.
Get up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
We do allow a space for kids who want to learn boxing to learn. And then we allow a space for kids for individual mentorship. So these kids here, we love them.
Your hands are there, very important. You're backing up into them corners again. I don't know why. Nobody's pushing you. That's you. All right, get some water.
Head coach Ramon Ortiz tells me lots of kids come in from their homes angry.
That kid wants to be the king of the jungle at home. So we have a couple of those kids that come in here and then Once they start boxing and they start doing the exercise, now they become humble. His mom tells me that this kid doesn't do any games or anything like that. This kid is all about his boxing. So if he didn't have this out, you'll get in trouble.
And Coach told me that you used to get in trouble before, and since you started boxing, you don't get in trouble as much. Is that true?
That's true. I always like to fight, so like at school I was getting a little tussles at school, but now I box, so I don't gotta worry about fighting or nothing because I do it every day.
Bad friends, Mom?
I would think so, like bad choices. This keeps him out of trouble. This keeps him busy. This is good for him.
In Tampa with photojournalist Reed Moeller, Michael Paluska, ABC Action News.